So I'm Jenna Daugherty. Most people know me growing up as Josh Daugherty. I always was sneaking my sister's clothes from, as far back as I could probably remember, age 5. I never told anybody because I know my parents wouldn't understand, and at the same time I kind of felt bad, but in the back of my mind I didn't feel bad. I was like, this feels right, but I'm not supposed to feel this way, so I kind of I would kind of go back and forth as I grew up, like in elementary school, kind of embracing these feelings, but I never told anybody. It was something I always felt more comfortable in than the boy clothes that, I was, not forced. It's just society. It was just like, you have boy parts, this and that. You're a boy, so. I first started expressing it probably junior high. My sisters would dress me up, because a lot of times that's what sisters do with their brothers. They think it's fun, and I liked it, but I didn't want to tell them that I did, so I would pretend like I didn't like it when they did it. But then every once in a while I'd be like, hey, remember that joke? That was kind of funny. And they're like, yeah. And I'd be like, hey, it would be funny if we did it again. First time I publicly expressed it was actually in high school. My friend, her name was Amy Nelson. It was my sophomore year of high school, and she came to me, and we had Spirit Week, and we always dressed up for Spirit Week themes, and one of the themes was Twin Day. And she came up to me and she said, wouldn't it be funny, Josh, if you were my twin? Not only did everyone think it was great, they all said, at the end of the day, they all said, so you're going to do this again next year for Spirit Week? And of course I was like, oh yeah, maybe. Like, oh, maybe we'll see. And the most interesting part, it was I went to a private Christian school. So that was, even though the teachers and the staff were like, oh, that's hilarious. Every year I would bring Jenna back, because that was the name my friend Amy and my friend Jen gave me. And so that's where the name Jenna came from. It was a bit of a mental struggle for a long time, and of course it just got worse as I got older. 2011, I was Katy Perry for Halloween. And I kind of used it as a little bit of a test. Because the Halloween, of course, you can wear whatever you want. Everyone's going to say, oh, it's cool because it's Halloween. So, and everyone was like, oh my god. I was getting reactions from people not recognizing who I was. And it was a huge hit. And so I thought, that was the first time where I thought, okay, I might actually be able to, officially pull this off. And so, from 2012 all the way up until 2015, I was kind of living as Josh and then living as Jenna in secret. Something I'd never done before. And then by the time I just kept telling people closer and closer and closer to me, and by the time I came out, which was last July, I was ready to basically tell the public, this is who I am. I didn't consider myself trans because I didn't think I had enough experience living day to day as a trans individual. I know trans people who've suffered more than I have, discriminated against more than I have, so I kind of felt that right off the bat, living most of my life as Josh and just saying, oh, here I am, this is me now, I kind of felt like it would be an insult to those who are living it on the daily. I saw myself more as someone who was struggling with my gender identity. It's something I'd always struggled with, and I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know how to address it. So more so than anything, I guess I wanted people to know this is what I'm dealing with, and I'm going to be pursuing this more. Part of it was Caitlyn Jenner. When she came out, it just really kind of just opened the doors for the trans community. That before that, just the people were just kind of in the shadow. A lot of us were in the shadows. And whether, or now some people are mad at her for things she said, but for me, just the fact that she is to date the biggest celebrity to transition, that just that simple thing made it so much more easy for people like me to say, yeah, this is me too. And And people still aren't going to get it, but they're going to say, oh, but you know what? Caitlyn is that too. And it's easier for people to relate to because they see someone, even though they don't know them, celebrities are always more relatable on a superficial level. So they can look to at least Caitlyn. You know, of course you got Laverne Cox and all these other ones too, but and really watching Bruce's last interview, the thing that really hit me was when he said, you know, I don't want to go the rest of my life thinking, what if? And I was like, yeah, you know, like there were so many things he said that I totally related to, but more so than anything, it was that when he said, I don't want to go the rest of my life thinking, what if, you know? And he was 65 at the time. I'm 29, so I'm like, I've got plenty of time. Why not? You know, I mean, you know, I eventually realized that, you know, people that love me are going to stick with me, and people that, you know, I have a problem, I'll just do adios. It's been, with my family, it's been pretty mixed. Obviously, my sisters are super supportive. They, you know, just, they, it's hard for them at the same time, you know, because in a way, you know, even though I'm still the same person, it's kind of you're kind of losing your brother. But they've told me, you know, like, you know, you do what makes you happy. We're 100% behind you, you know, and I try to make it easy for them. My brother doesn't talk about it much, and, you know, I don't blame him at all. I can't imagine what it's like, you know, having your older brother kind of disappearing, as I guess you would say. So I told him, like, you know, whenever you want to talk about it, whatever, you know, however you come, I guess you would say, where you land on it is okay with me. You know, you don't like it, you don't get it, whatever, you know, whenever you feel comfortable to talk to me, I'm here for you. So, you know, to this day, he's expressed to other people that he doesn't feel comfortable, but, you know, he doesn't say anything to me, and I appreciate that very much, you know, because I can't expect everyone to just get it right away or get used to it right away. It's not something that's easy. I've felt the most pushback from my dad, and, you know, there's nothing, I'm not talking ill against my dad at all. I love my dad, but he comes from a generation where the overt machoism and homophobia was just rampant, and so he doesn't know how to deal with that, on top of the fact that he's a religious fundamentalist. So, you know, he said a lot of things that I expected when I first told him. He was the last person I told, and it was hard, but I knew I had to do it. It was because I couldn't not, you know, have this between us. It's not who I am. I don't like having things between people. So I told him, I said, don't preach to me, don't tell me what I'm doing is wrong, and, you know, I won't bring this around you. And to this day, you know, he hasn't met Jenna, but it's going to be a tough day when I, you know, start transitioning. He's gonna have to face it one day or the other. So it's, I said it's been a very mixed bag. I'm excited to see where this is all gonna lead me, because going back to, you know, the what if that Bruce Jenner said before his last interview before she became Caitlyn. It's easy to be comfortable and not embrace who you are, but you just always feel something lacking. And so it's, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it's been scary to a certain degree, because it's all new territory. So I partially don't know where I'm going, but I'm just so happy, I'm so excited that I think that trumps whatever scariness that comes with change.